Hi, good morning, welcome. I'm Susan Buchser-Lochocki, running for President of the United States with the Green Party. This is my kitchen, and it's coffee with me. Excuse me. So, here we go, coffee. And I actually have coffee today. So, it's Words Wednesday, and I think it's the 17th of June, if I remember correctly, and I want to announce it's UN World Pride Day. So congratulations to our Lavender Caucus. It's your day, according to the UN. And then I also want to congratulate you on the Supreme Court ruling on Monday that landmark civil rights law protects gay and transgender workers from workplace discrimination, handling the movement for the LGBTQIA equality, a long sought and unexpected victory. So congratulations to you. An employer who fires an individual merely for being gay or transgender defies the law. And it was passed in a 6-3 ruling. And basically, it's a huge win. So congratulations on this monumental thing. I tried to post something online and it got all confused. So I decided I would mention it once this week. And yes. So congratulations to the U.S. for making that possible, for opening their minds and making that ruling. And congratulations to the Lavender Caucus. That's a big win. So equal opportunity. Congratulations. Then white privilege. So more about my white privilege. I guess I got accepted to Parsons School of Design, but I'm going to say that it wasn't just because I was white. It probably had a lot to do with my ability to draw. So, but you know, maybe the door was more open because of that. On the other hand, Parsons had, people from everywhere, not only all over the United States, but all over the world. And for me, it was like going back to Guam, to being in that elementary school class where I had so many diverse people around me, from all over Asia, Europe, Africa. It was wonderful. And so it was a good experience, multicultural. And I suppose I was there to represent the white people of the United States. So it was that was perhaps my role there. Yeah. Then I will say woman privilege. So one of my women privileges was when I was coming home from working one night. I'm going to say it was probably 1989 or 90, from working at Pizzeria Uno on a late shift. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning. And I had gotten off the subway and I was walking home. Was living in Brooklyn, Park Slope at the time. And my apartment was about maybe 3 or 4 blocks from the subway stop. And as I was walking, I realized there was a group of young men behind me, probably about 4 or 5. And they were getting closer and closer. And, I was tired from work. And these guys, they were probably between the age of 16 and I'm going to say 25. And they were looking for trouble. And I couldn't believe my luck. There was nobody around, nothing to do. So I thought of what are my options? What could I do? And I heard them behind me talking. They were about 2 yards away. and they were discussing what they were going to do and how they were going to attack me, and should they attack me, and what do they think? Is she like, why is she not running? And so I realized that they were thinking that I was a police officer because I looked out of place being, walking around the streets at that hour. So I decided I would go with that theory of theirs and pretend like I was confident and not afraid of what they were doing. And they followed me a couple of doors more once I really started to put on that act of being, a police officer and, being whatever, undercover police is what the idea would be. And they really decided that's what I was. And they turned around and they went someplace else. I don't know what they did, but they didn't bother me. And when they turned and started going away, you have no idea how relieved I was that they turned and went away. And I then picked up my pace and I got to my apartment as quickly as possible. And as soon as I was in, I just burst into tears and I was shaking like a leaf, and you just couldn't imagine. I was so nervous. It was unreal. Absolutely unreal. I thought I was going to die, or certainly be raped at the very least. So, the power of your walk and your attitude has a lot to do with how people perceive you. And I learned a lot that night, and yeah, it wasn't the lesson I was looking for, but, we don't always get to choose when lessons are sent to us. But I survived it, and I'm here to tell you about it. So that's the important thing. So confidence and knowing what your options are. Every option is, every time you're confronted with something like that, too, you have to do different things. So that's also